Krishna, 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 hey. Krishna, 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 hey. Krishna, 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 Rakshamam. Krishna, 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 Pahimam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshamam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahimam. So, this month is very, very auspicious. We just celebrated the appearance day of Lord Balaram, Balaram Purnima. So, in 6 days, we will celebrate the most wonderful day of the year, Sri Krishna Janmashtami. And right after that, a week from today, we will celebrate the divine appearance of the ISKCON founder Acharya, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. And then, at the end of the month, oh, we got a special announcement. Yes. Oh, I'm fine.
You're okay?
Yeah. No, it's fine. Is it disturbing you? I'm good. Thank you, my dear God brother. And then at the end of the month, perhaps some might call it the second or third most important day, depending on your angle of vision, Sri Radhashtami. So these holy days are where you get a big return on your investment. We get so much benefit by hearing, by chanting, praying, serving, all the different activities. But on these holy days, you get more benefit. Now, I don't know about you, but if I can get more benefit, I'll take it. So, last night, I was at a different temple, and I spoke about Lord Balaram. So tonight, I will speak about Lord Sri Krishna. To get myself in the proper mood, I'd like to chant a very important mantra. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militang Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. This mantra from the Gautamiya Tantra, is that correct? Explains the position of the conditioned soul. And I personally, from my background, my life story, I really identify with the meaning of this mantra, that I was born in the darkness of ignorance. But my spiritual master accepted me as his disciple. And by his words, by his books, by his example, and by his movement, his devotees and disciples, little by little, these eyes which were blinded by the glare of the material energy, Maya, little by little, I'm being woke. Yes, I like saying that. The original pure woke philosophy. Yes. So, whatever I am today is all because of Srila Prabhupada. As we learned from Prahlad Maharaj, when he was offering prayers to Nrsingadev, that my first business is to satisfy my spiritual master. How can I leave his service? So Prahlad shows us the way, that we can never forget what Srila Prabhupada has done for us in our lives. So, with that being said, and of course, Prabhupada teaches us that before speaking, one should take shelter of the Panchatattva. So you can chant with me, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, good. Javita got his mic. Very good. Have it ready at all times, because you never know when I'm going to call on you. So, at the end of the 9th canto, the chapter is entitled by Prabhupada, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because Bhagavatam begins in terms of what happened after the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Pandavas. That's how Bhagavatam opens. We hear about the Pandavas. And through 9 cantos, Vyasadeva, through the mouth of Shukadeva Goswami, explains all the categories of this word. Everybody say, Krishna. Krishna. Yes. We could speak for weeks, months, just on this 2 syllables, Krishna. And we won't get tired. So Vyasadeva, in 9 cantos, explains the different categories of God, the absolute truth, its different aspects. Now, specifically, the Srimad-Bhagavatam was ordered by Vyasadev's guru, my favorite, Narada Muni Bhajaya Veena Radhika Ramana Name. Narada Muni, he's my role model. He travels all over the universe with his, he doesn't have a guitar, he has a veena. And when he plucks the strings, what comes out? Not this twangy sound. Although I like this twangy sound. It makes me shanti, shanti, shanti. No, his veena says Radhika Ramana. Everybody. Yes, another name of Krishna. One who gives pleasure to Srimati Radharani, who is nicely here in your temple. Radha Giridhari. So Narada told Vyasadeva, you have to explain who is Krishna, what is his position, and how Krishna interacts with his devotees. That is significant. Not just God. To get a complete understanding of God, we also have to hear about God's devotees. That's what Bhagavatam is. Another way of answering the question given by Lord Chaitanya, that any Vedic book you pick up, doesn't matter, only three things are being explained. Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana. The whole purpose of the Vedic library, the whole purpose of Gita, Bhagavatam, all the Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra, what's the purpose? To understand that you have an eternal relationship with God, with Krishna. Individual, personal. I like that. That I have, you have a relationship with Krishna. And once that is you are firmly convinced and you accept it and you want, yes, then the next question is, what do I do now? How do I act? And then the logical question is, okay, so I have an eternal relationship with Krishna and I must love and serve. What's it for me? What do I get out of it? And the answer is prayojana, love of God. Yes, this to me is everything. I used to sing, I've done this many times, before becoming a devotee. What was my favorite song? All you need is love. But I didn't find it with Dina or Michelle or Linda or whoever. I was looking for love. And I used to lament, I have so much love to give, but nobody's interested. But then, coming in contact with Prabhupada's books, he said it. He said, yes, it's right there in Reservoir of Pleasure, in Nectar of throughout his whole books. Yes, you have a loving propensity, but it is misplaced. Prabhupada is teaching us, repose your love in Krishna. That to me makes life worth living. So love of God. So Vyasadeva, Shukadev, in 9 cantos, couple of 100 chapters, explaining all about Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana, the science of God. Yes, that's another thing I like. Science of God. I remember I used to do preaching every year in Cal State, LA. And there was one Professor Wilson. She would call me and the devotees at LA Temple. We are studying Hinduism now. You come and speak to our class. And she would give us different topics every year. One year she gave the topic, Emotions in Religion. That was good, because I got to explain to her about rasa. And she was very keen when I spoke about conjugal rasa. She goes, oh, can you say more? I said, no. Not in public forum. So I gave her the nectar of devotion. I said, you read this, because these things are not for public discussion. But I like that her ears perked up when I explained Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. So, before the 10th canto, because the 10th canto is the real nucleus of Bhagavatam. In the same way, Mahabharata, this is explained. The whole purpose of the Mahabharata book is what? Bhagavad-gita. That's the whole purpose of setting up the whole Mahabharata book, is to get to part 2, because part 1 is up to the war, and part 2 begins with Bhagavad-gita. That's the whole target. So, 10th canto, comprising 90 chapters. There are 12 cantos, 335 chapters in all, 18,000 shlokas. And by the way, if you want to know how they came up with 18,000, Dravida has the exact scientific answer. Because if you count, it doesn't add up. But Dravida solved the riddle. That's why I like him. Insider information. Oh, he's turning on his mic.
That question I was getting, because when we finished the Bhagavatam, the devotees immediately counted, and they said, wait a minute, you're 1,000 short, you know. So Gopi Puranan explained it to me, and I'll tell you later if we have time. Okay?
Very good, boss. Very good. Suffice it to say, the 10th canto is the biggest section, and it's all about one verse in Bhagavad-gita. Dravida, what verse in Bhagavad-gita am I going to quote now?
Tesham satati yuktana.
No, not that one. Janma karma chame divyam. Make sense now? Evam yo veti tatvataha. Tyakvadehang punar janma. Naiti mam eti sorjuna. Where Krishna says in chapter 4 that if you understand tattvata scientifically, in truth, janma and karma, my birth and my activities, divyam. Divyam means divine, transcendental, not mundane. No, Krishna's activities, Krishna's birth is all on the transcendental spiritual platform. Therefore, material logic, leave it at the door. Material morality, flush it down the toilet. Not when it comes to Krishna Leela. Now, this is beyond all of that. This is transcendental. As I always like to say, if you want to understand this transcendental knowledge, you have to be able to accommodate an elephant on the size of this plate. If you can understand the possibility of an elephant on this little plate, then you can understand what is achintya. Do you know that shloka, achintya kalu? You know that verse? Yes.
I forget the rest.
Can you give us the purport?
Yes. You cannot understand things that are inconceivable by mundane argument.
Yes.
Only by revelation.
Yes. That we learn. That's from, I think, is that from the Mahabharata? I think that's where I got it from. Prabhupada quotes it. That material logic, mundane sense perception doesn't help you to understand this. Things that are inconceivable, achintya. Chintya means to be able to think, to conceive. But this subject matter is achintya. beyond that. Otherwise, how will you understand when Krishna lifts Govardhan Hill at the age of 7 for 7 days? That doesn't make any sense. Or how in other places of the Bhagavatam, these amazing descriptions that Lord Matsya was millions of miles long, and Kurma, and all these, and how Lord Brahma felt something coming from his nose, and out came a little boar. And then he expanded and expanded and expanded to universe. These things, some scientists, oh, this is all got like my grandson. He's an atheist. So he doesn't want to hear anything about this. This is all gobbledygook. Maybe to you, Mudha, but not to those who have heard Srila Prabhupada. Yes. Inconceivable. So at the end of the 9th canto, towards the end, Shukadeva Goswami gives us a quick summary of what he's going to describe in the 10th canto. And the 10th canto is the full explanation of Janma Karma Chame Divyam. So by studying this 10th canto, or my favorite form of 10th canto, known as Krishna book. How many people have Krishna book? Oh, that's why I like coming here. My favorite book. Yes. That if you study and you understand, then Tyakva dehang purnar janma naiti. You're not coming back again to San Diego or LA or anywhere in this material world. You're not coming back. Where will you be going? To Chintamani Prakara Sadmasu Kalpa Vriksha Lakshavrateshu Surabir Abhipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasrasata Sambrama Sevyamanam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamahang Bhajami. Krishna is telling us, if you understand this 10th canto, you will come to my abode. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm done with this material world. I'm 75. I've learned my lesson. I don't want to come back to this place and go through all these things again. No. What do we say? Been there, done that. Yes. I want to go to that abode of Chintamani. Krishna gives a hint. Nata vasayate surya nashanka napavaka. That my abode does not require any external illumination. It is self-luminous. That abode where there's no more birth or death, politics. No. It's a land of Ananda. Ananda Chinmaya. Where it is said in the Brahma Samhita, what is that abode of Krishna? Every step is a dance. Every word is a song. It's the ideal. It's beyond utopia, yes. Because Prabhupada said, you'll not find a utopia anywhere. But there's something beyond utopia. That is known as Goloka Vrindavan. How many want to go? Good. You're in the right temple. You're in the right church. I've told the story many times. When my grandson was in the 5th grade, my daughter arranged with the teacher to allow me to come and speak to the 5th grade students. some school in Orange County. So I gave my presentation on the soul, super soul, very general. So at one point I told the students, because I had explained, and I said, so right now, I told the children, outside the school is a big rocket ship. And this rocket ship, if you want, will take you to the kingdom of God. It's waiting. How many kids want to go? So out of a class of 30, maybe 5 raised their hand. And I said, I was like shocked. I said, you don't want to go to the kingdom of God? What do you want to do? We want to play our video games. Then I understood, oh, that is what we call Maya. Yes. So these last verses of the 9th canto gives us a nice summary of this 10th canto or Krishna book. Beginning with Krishna's appearance, it doesn't really deal with Krishna's disappearance until the end of the next canto, 11th. But in 90 chapters, you get a very nice glimpse of what it's like to be with Krishna. The Krishna pastimes, especially in Vrindavan, are so attractive. My wife and I, we wrote a song back in the early 80s, and the one line, I was thinking of it today. Wouldn't you like to be there? Wouldn't you like to go with him? Wouldn't you like to play with Krishna and all of his friends? Yes, being with Krishna, you're going to be with so many nice friends, nice people. That was one of the things that impressed me when I joined the temple back in 1973. Dravida was already there ahead of me as my senior god brother. And one thing I liked was these very interesting personalities. And little by little, you get to hear all the devotee stories, how they joined. I know I have an amazing story of how I joined. Every devotee had their stories. And the Brooklyn Temple, we had at least 100 devotees, right? We had a lot. And so they all had stories, and I found these people so fascinating. Said, these are the people I've been looking for all my life. I never really liked anyone when I was going. I'd have friends, but it wouldn't last. I'd get tired. These people are stupid. I always felt out of place. But when I found the devotees, I said, these are my peeps. These are my people. And still to this day, devotees. Doesn't matter, American devotees, Latino devotees, Indian devotees. Doesn't matter. If you believe in Krishna, you're my friend. How many believe in Krishna? Then you're my friend. I love you. And if you don't believe in Krishna, I still love you. I don't hate you. I just want you to love Krishna like me and be happy together. So, as I said, several verses, I picked this one. And let's see how I'm inspired. So far, so good? Everybody's enjoying? Kalau janayishyamananam dukkha shoka tamo nudam anugrahaya bhaktanam supunyam vyatanod yasha. Let's see how Prabhupada translated. To show causeless mercy to the devotees who would take birth in the future, in this age of Kali, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, what's his name? Everybody? Thank you. Acted in such a way that simply by remembering him, one will be freed from all lamentation and unhappiness of material existence. This is the essence of Krishna consciousness. That Krishna performed these leelas or pastimes, which we read in the 10th canto or in Krishna book. And it's there for us to remind us, to remember who this Krishna is and why we should surrender and love him. In the Bhagavad-gita, at the end, Krishna gives Arjuna an order. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja ahang tvang sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. Krishna tells Arjuna that you should surrender or take shelter of me. Just like those who follow Pushti Marg. There's a Gujarati line called Pushti Marg. And their mantra is Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. It's meaning the same thing. I surrender, I take shelter of Krishna. There was one Gujarati devotee I met long time ago. Very, very strong. Very, very heavy. You couldn't fool around with him. He, of course, was senior in age, but he would tolerate no nonsense when you were around him. Hey! He was very strict. So when he came in contact with the devotees, he requested initiation. And of course he said, yes, I am, he told his guru, I am initiated in the Vallabha Acharya Sampradaya, and I chant 64 rounds of Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Now I want to take shelter of you. So the guru told him, you can continue to chant your 64 rounds of your mantra, but you add 16 rounds of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram. He did it. He was serious. And within a few years, because I know him personally, he was still chanting 64 rounds of the Vallabhacharya mantra, and he was doing 64 rounds of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Yes, his name was Vidura Das. So, this age of, so here, let's take it. Causeless mercy. That is a term you will hear repeatedly throughout Prabhupada's books. Causeless mercy. Because one of the first things you learn in Bhagavatam about Krishna, Abhigya Swarat, all-knowing, fully independent. You and I, we can never be fully independent. No, it's not possible. Krishna is fully independent and all-knowing. So that's important. So since he's fully independent, meaning nobody can pressure Krishna. All of us, there's somebody who can put pressure on us. Our husband, in my case, my wife, putting the pressure. Or children, sometimes the children can put pressure. But nobody can pressure Krishna. Nobody. He's Ajita, unconquerable. He's Achyuta, infallible. Dravida likes that. Yes. So nobody can make Krishna. You cannot do a business deal with Krishna. All right, Krishna, I'll distribute 1,000 Bhagavatams, but I want this. No, no, no. Krishna's not interested in let's make a deal. No. Krishna wants love. And love means free. And love means causeless. There's no motive. It's simply out of love. So it says here, causeless mercy. That Krishna, because all of us are Krishna's parts and parcels. We are related to Krishna. Each and every one of us. No exceptions. Everyone is related to Krishna. So because we already have a inherent relationship with Krishna, the potentiality of love is always there. So Krishna, out of causeless mercy, does all that he does. He comes to this material world for our benefit. Krishna is always with Radharani in the spirit. Sometimes I get this question, Prabhuji, so when Krishna came to this earth, what happened in the spiritual world? I said, no, don't think like that. Krishna is always in the spiritual world. He can appear in this material world as he does once in a day of Brahma, meaning just recently, only 5,000 years ago. And simultaneously, Krishna is still with Radharani and the cowherder boys in his Goloka Vrindavan. It's not that Krishna is absent, no. So he comes, and it's specifically, it's for us, the people who took birth in this age of Kali. And we know it's the age of Kali for several reasons. Bhagavatam says, the day Krishna left this planet, the age of Kali began. But we can also know that it's the age of Kali by its symptoms. Just turn on the television. Turn on any news channel. After 2 minutes, because what is it? Bad news, corruption, cheating, murder, right? When do you turn on the TV? Oh, today Krishna was with the cow. No, it's not going to be on Fox Noise. All you're going to hear is murder, cheating, pilfering, hypocrisy, cheating, lying, murder. It's all bad. Shukadeva Goswami said that. He told Parikshit at the end, when he was finishing up his teachings, Kaler doshanide rajan asti hi eko mahan guna kirtanad eva krishnasya mukta sangha parang vrajit. My dear King Parikshit, this age of Kali is an ocean of bad things. An ocean means wave after wave after wave of bad news. But Shukadev said, there's one good thing. Only one good thing. What is that one good thing? Kirtanad eva, and he specifically used the word Krishnasya. He said the kirtan of Krishna, that will take you to the abode of the Lord, the transcendental abode. The kirtan, and specifically Krishna kirtan. He could have used many different words. But Shukadev said, Kirtanad eva Krishnasya, genitive case of the kirtan of Krishna. Same thing being said here. Just by hearing and remembering all the different activities of Krishna, you will be delivered. You will go back home, back to Godhead, as Prabhupada promised whenever he would initiate. You follow these principles, chant 16 rounds of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and you will go back home, back to Godhead in this lifetime. How many believe Prabhupada's words? Good. I hope to see you there. Please pray for me. Yes, I need your help. So, we simply have to expose ourselves to the sound vibration. That's all. When we are chanting, when we're reading, studying, you just simply listen. You simply try to absorb the sound vibration. People ask so many times, Prabhu, I'm trying to chant. What do I do with my mind? And the answer is, don't worry about your mind. Listen. Whoa, whoa. Listen to the mantra. Whoa, whoa. Listen to the mantra all the time. That's it. Just listen to the mantra. And if you don't know, follow the bouncing ball. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's the first time I used that song in the class. That's why I love coming here. I get so much special inspiration. That came out good, right? Yeah. I'm on fire. All right. So we just listen. That's all. Just chant japa, listening to the sound you're making. Hare Krishna. And if you get tired of chanting, then Prabhupada has given us these nice books. They're so nice. Just read it. Don't overthink it. Just read it. I remember when I was a new devotee, one of my godbrothers, you remember, Mangalananda. He was giving a class in the evening because we used to attend 2 classes every day, morning and evening. Because living in the temple was like being in a boot camp. Get up early, 3 o'clock. Oh, God, that was so hard. And you'd go to bed by 9 o'clock because 3 o'clock was coming real fast. And so he was giving the class, and I remember what he said. He said, so you read Prabhupada's books, and if you don't understand, read it again. If you don't understand, read it again. He went like 5 times like that. Said, okay, I got it. Just read, because the understanding will come. And that's proved to be true. When I started out, attending the class, there were so many things that were way above my head. I said, what are they talking about? But I said, that's all right. I like the food, so I'm sticking for the food. I like the people. They're cool people. And I like the clothes. They're very comfortable. So I said, I'll worry about the philosophy later. I like where I'm at. And then little by little, the understanding comes. And now, practicing now for 50 years, now the understanding comes much quicker, much quicker. Especially when I understood a very important verse by Vyasadeva in the Upanishads. Very important verse. Yasya deve para bhakti yatha deve tatha gurau tasyaite kathita hyartha prakashante mahatmanaha. This verse, you could say, is the keys to the kingdom of God. What is this verse saying? That, first of all, you need implicit faith. Implicit faith in two things only. That Krishna is God and the spiritual master is the via media representative. If you have implicit faith in the words of Srila Prabhupada and an equal amount of faith in Krishna, then when you read, you will understand nicely. And I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that personally. I've read these books over and over and over again. Because I love these books. I love the way Prabhupada writes. It just does something. I feel like when I'm reading Prabhupada's books, I feel like I'm hearing Prabhupada speak. So that means I should read the short purport. Allow me to read the purport. Srila Prabhupada ki. Prabhupada writes, the Lord's activities of saving the devotees and killing the demons. Now he quotes a famous verse from the Gita. Most Indians know this verse. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. Take place side by side. Krishna actually appears for the deliverance of the sadhus or bhaktas. You are all bhaktas. The mere fact that you're sitting and you stayed this long, you have to be a devotee. Because if you're not, you would have left 20 minutes ago. The mere fact that you stayed, Haribol. We're all in Krishna's family. We're all devotees. Krishna actually appears for the deliverance of the bhaktas. But by killing the demons, he shows them mercy also. For anyone killed by Krishna is liberated. And that was demonstrated on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. That anyone on that battlefield who saw Krishna, they got liberation. Even if they were on the other side. Because they saw Krishna. Krishna's the best. You know, a long time ago, I was thinking, even if there wasn't a God, I would still want to be like Krishna. Because he blows my mind. It's like, if I wanted to be God, this example of Krishna, that's the best. As I like to say, Krishna is not only cool, man, he's ice cold. He's the coolest. Because in the 60s, that is when you would glorify, oh, he's cool, man, he's cool. Meaning, and then they changed it, he's bad. That came out in the 80s. Bad became good. Michael Jackson, you know, bad. Bad now became good. Anyway, we used to say, cool man. Krishna is not the coolest, ice cold. He's the best. Whenever the Lord kills or gives protection, he is kind to both the demons and the devotees. Of course, the benefit of the devotees is different from what the non-devotees get. Because there's different levels of liberation. different levels of spiritual benediction. And we, by the way, are striving for the topmost. That's what this movement, Lord Chaitanya's movement, is promoting. Not just because in Hindu philosophy, dharma, artha, kam, moksha, moksha meaning salvation, liberation, you've heard it. Certain religious groups, they come up to you, are you saved? Oh yeah, I'm beyond saved, baby. I've got prem. I've got love of God. Beyond salvation. Talk to the hand. One time back in the 80s, my wife's mother came to visit. My daughter was very sick. She got appendicitis and she almost died. So Grandma came to spend some time. So I found out from my wife, one time while my wife was out and I was home and Grandma was there, some Jehovah's Witness came to preach. And I said, oh, good. So they came, and so I showed them the deities, and I started to engage with them, and they tried to leave because they could see, oh, we're not going to get anywhere with this guy. And I said, no, I got more. And the grandmother was laughing her head off that I wouldn't let them leave because I kept trying to preach to them, and they couldn't take it anymore. Because when it comes to Krishna, nobody can change my mind. Yes, that's another song. I chant 16 rounds. What do you get? Another day older and closer to death. Yamaraj, can't you see? I'm a man of God. I owe my soul to Srila Prabhupada. So there's a verse I wrote. I go out when I can just to preach the truth. An eye for an eye, a tooth for tooth. Ain't nobody out there who can change my mind. 'Cause I've seen it all before, and I know they're kind. I chant 16 rounds. What? Anyway, you get the idea. Yes. So, Krishna, the name Krishna, all attractive. If you are sane person, if you are impartial, and you don't have any preconceived biases, you objectively study Krishna, how can you not accept? For me, it took 6 chapters of Krishna book. That fateful night, 12 midnight, all by myself in Columbus, Ohio, I said, where is that book I bought on the way here? Chapter 1, chapter 2. So it was 3 hours, just straight reading. Then finally, when Krishna killed the Putana witch, I closed the book. I'm joining Prabhupada's movement. That's how powerful these books are. And they're still powerful. When you're down and troubled, and you need some loving care, you just take out Prabhupada's books. And in the course of my life, different books, like there was a period in the mid-'80s, early '90s, I was working a regular job to maintain my family. And sometimes I'd be so frustrated, so miserable, because I hated working in the material. I hated it. People were so obnoxious. Mudhas with their stinky food they would put in the microwave and stink up the whole place. I hated it. So sometimes I'd come home and I'd be so frustrated, but I found solace by reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. And after maybe 20 minutes of reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, I was calm and peaceful. Then there was a period I became mad after reading the Gita. I'll be very honest. The first 20 years as a devotee, I did not like reading Bhagavad-gita. It would put me to sleep. Bhagavatam I liked. I found Bhagavatam class interesting. But when they would give the Gita, especially some people, their Gita class was so boring. And so I'd be like, But then one day I said, you know what? I'm going to crack this book. So I forced myself to read the Gita. And the trick, the purports. That was the key that unlocked the Gita. Then it became my favorite book. So through the years, different books of Prabhupada have been my impetus. But the ultimate, the one that never fails, Krishna book. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody sing. Hare Krishna. I want to thank you all for being such a nice audience. The other day, was it yesterday? Yes. Your temple president, Balaram Das, he just gave a class in LA Temple. I think he did today too. But he gave a class recently, and I listened to it. So I'm good friends with Balaram, so I messaged him on, Krishna says, of apps I am, WhatsApp. So I messaged, I said, you did a fantastic job. And I pointed out, these are the criteria. You passed every one of my criteria. Your class was wonderful. And he was happy to receive that. But I was very, very impressed. So you should be happy that you have nice devotees here. Balaram Prabhu is a jewel. He's a gem. So cooperate with him. Don't lose him. Keep him, because he's rare. You don't want to have some tyrant as your temple president, some dictator. No, you've got a good, nice, am I right? Isn't he sweet? He's like sweetheart. He's just beautiful. And of course, we have our Mahapandit, we have Dravida Das, and then once a month you get me, the clown. That's all right. I'm a transcendental clown who gives blessings. Who wants blessings? All right. Have you been good boys and girls? All right, fold your hands. My dear Lord Krishna, please bless these nice devotees. As I told Balaram at the end, this temple is my favorite temple to visit. LA Temple, that's my home. Rukmini Dwarkadish, that's my home. But my favorite temple, your temple. All in favor say Hari Bol. So may you always stay together in Krishna consciousness. May you cooperate. And as the song goes, don't worry, chant japa. Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.